Jai Shri Ram. We are now looking into the Udyoga Parva, which is the fifth Parva, fifth chapter. The sub Parvas are Senodyaga Parva, Sanjaya Yana Parva. That means Sanjaya went as the emissary, the messenger, and Prajagara Parva, Sanat Sujata Parva, Yana Sandhi Parva, Bhagavatyana, that is Krishna went as the emissary, the messenger, Sainya Nirnaya Parva, Uluka Abhigamana Parva. Uluka was the son of Shakuni, who was sent by the Kauravas after Krishna returned. That means Krishna's mission failed and Uluka was sent finally, simply to insult and taunt. So, Uluka Abhigamana Parva. Ratha Athiratha Sankhyana Parva. So all the warriors were given various designations and portfolios for the battle. Ambopakhyana Parva. Ambopakhyana. So now let us get into let us see, I have made some notes of important, special, exclusive details. So when Shikhandi was waging the war, people who watched him thought that he resembled Sri Rama. So, Shikhandi is often portrayed in Hindi, Bollywood and this Telugu industry movies also as if he is some kind of a eunuch, effeminate character, pansy, but that is not true. As per the narrative, Shikhandi, like I already discussed, magically got transformed into a male and he fought as a great warrior. He was a Maharathi. So portraying him as a Chakka is simply to ridicule the character actually. Anyway, in the battle, Yudhishthira marked Arjuna for Karna, Bhima for Duryodhana, Drishtaketu for Shalya, Uttamauja for Kripa, Nakula for Ashwathama, Shaibhya for Kritavarma and Satyaki for Saindhava. That is who is that? Saindhava. Jayadratha. Parashurama and Bhishma fought for 23 days. That is the Amba story, I think I told you, so I don't want to repeat that now. During the battle between Bhishma and Parashurama, Bhishma declared that my arrows will not harm the Vedas in your body and your Atmajnana and your tapas. So, besides that, in the Udyoga Parva, chapter 51, Bhishma is taller than Arjuna by a small measure of a pradesha, that is the word they use. Pradesha is the span of a thumb, which could be maybe 1.5 inches or close to 2 inches. So Bhima was 2 inches taller than Arjuna. So anyway, Bharate Sara Udyogaha. Bharate Sara Udyogaha. That means the essence of the entire Mahabharata is there in the Udyoga Parva, and because there are several crucial dialogues, and the emissary of the Purohit of Drupada, Sanjaya as the emissary from Dhritarashtra, Krishna from the Pandavas to the Kaurava court, and Uluka was the last fellow from the Kaurava court sent to Pandava court. And then the message of Kunti Devi to Yudhishthira and the dialogue between Krishna and Karna, Kunti Devi and Karna are also very, very interesting. We have other discourses in Udyoga Parva, which is the Viduraniti, Sanat Sujatiya, which are full of moral philosophy, metaphysics, Vedanta and all that. So there are further discussions about assessment of the proficiency of each warrior and gradation of warriors and all that. Designations and portfolios being awarded. So here in the Udyoga Parva, another thing is mentioned. King Shantanu's elder brother Devapi could not become the emperor because he was suffering from a skin disease. And similarly, Dhritarashtra, though elder to Pandu, lost his right to the kingdom because he was blind. So these are some important points. So the king has to be a person whose faculties are all fully functioning. Otherwise, he will not be able to govern to his fullest ability. So in the Udyoga Parva, you have this episode where Duryodhana went to Sri Krishna to seek his help, and you know the entire story. So Krishna was chosen by Arjuna, and Duryodhana got 10 lakhs, one entire army. But remember, Yadavas had several armies. eh? So Krishna did not give the entire Yadava. Krishna couldn't have, because Krishna had his own faction and his own army. Why am I telling you this? Because there are some stupid criticisms against Krishna, that he gave away his entire army to fight on behalf of Duryodhana, and so many soldiers lost their lives and all that. Please understand, this is a Vaishnava Maya Krishna Leela. All of them descended from Vaikuntham, and this is part of the drama. The message actually was that a smart person like Arjuna chose Krishna and not the army. Because Krishna, even if he does not fight and if he is on your side, nothing can harm you. Mare Krishna, Rakhe Khe, Rakhe Krishna, Mare Khe. So if Krishna decides to protect you, nobody can destroy you. And if Krishna decides to finish you off, then nobody can protect you. So Duryodhana, like a fool, chose Krishna's army, and he felt very happy. I believe Ashwadhama also went to Krishna and asked Krishna, I want your Sudarshana Chakra. Krishna said, okay, it is lying on that table there, please take it. So Ashwadhama went, but he could not even move that Sudarshan Chakra, it was so heavy. So after trying very hard, he realized that if he can't even move it, how can he use such a heavy weapon? He said, thank you, sir, and he left. So now Duryodhana approached Kritavarma, another Yadava warrior, who gave him one Akshohini and joined. Kritavarma, a Yadava, who was a relative of Krishna also, he fought for the Kauravas. And Kritavarma, Krupacharya and Ashwadhama survived the war. Okay. And another very interesting episode is that of King Shalya, the maternal uncle of Nakula and Sahadeva. And he wanted to join the Pandavas, and he started with one Akshohini army to Upaplavya, which was the place where the Pandavas were camped. And on the way, Duryodhana made arrangements for the stay. And Shalya was not aware that Duryodhana was the host. He thought Yudhishthira made all the arrangements. After reaching the destination, he called out the attenders and told them, tell your boss, whosoever it is, that I am very pleased with all the facilities. I want to give him something in return, something like I will grant him a boon for making such excellent arrangements. So immediately Duryodhana appeared and said that he was the host. So Duryodhana asked him to fight on his behalf. Now Shalya was caught in a catch-22 situation. A catch-22 problem is a paradoxical problem. The solution makes the problem worse. That means the conditions are such that you cannot get out of it. So it's a paradoxical problem. So Shalya was terribly disheartened, because he came to fight on behalf of the Pandavas. But foolishly, he enjoyed all the facilities without finding out whose facilities he was enjoying. See, in life also, we must never take anything from anybody. Always pray to Krishna that you should be having the upper hand. You should be the donor, not the receiver, because every time you receive something from somebody, you will be indebted. So, ऋण चुकाना पड़ता है. Sanatan Dharma teaches you that you can never live without paying your debts. So we make all efforts to pay back our debts. So that's why in the Shanti Parva, Bhishma says, all of us get indebted to the Devas, our guests, our servants, our forefathers, Devatas, and our own Atma. Therefore, we must always, throughout life, endeavor to repay these debts. See, the most important thing is you get indebted even to your servant. Though you may pay him a handsome salary, you cannot really compensate for the service adequately. Because service cannot be quantified. Devatatiti bhrutyebhya. Devata atithi bhrutyebhya. Bhrutya, that means servant. Devata atithi bhrutyebhya pitrubhyascha atmanastatha ranavanjayate martyas tasmad runatam vrajet. You are indebted to your own atma. Therefore, you must ensure that your atma goes back and joins Krishna, which is that Dva Suparna mantram which I have told you repeatedly. Dva Suparna Sayuja Sakhaya Samanam Vruksham Parishasvajati Tayoranyah Pippalam Swadvati Anashnananyo Abhichakashiti. There are two birds on the top of the tree. The tree is the body in the tree. This is a parable. So, the Paramatma, Krishna, call him Rama, call him Shiva, call him Devi, call him Kartikeya, call him Ganesha, or Surya. So all these are manifestations of Krishna. So we are indebted to Krishna and to our Atma also. So we must make every effort to pay back our debts and get back to Godhead. So this is a wonderful thought, wonderful principle of Sanatana Dharma, that we should never take anything from anybody. Some debts cannot be paid back to the parents and all that. You can never pay back. So we must make every effort to clear all our debts to everyone. Never be, never take anything free. Never let this account pile up. Because karmic debts are very, very, very dangerous. You will have to come back to pay these debts. Therefore, never encourage people also to understand this wonderful principle. Many people operate on this, dangerous principle. Mera to mera, tera bhi mera. This is the attitude. They want to appropriate others' property, which is the most dangerous thing you can do. Because remember, you can never lose anything that really belongs to you, and you can't keep that which belongs to someone else. Simple theory of karma. So please understand this. If you don't, then you will suffer. You can never lose anything that really belongs to you, and you can't keep that which belongs to someone else. So never try to steal, covet, appropriate others' property. In Shalya's case, he was rash and reckless and happily consumed all the food and enjoyed all the facilities. And when it came to payback time, he realized what a blunder he made. Now he had to fulfill the promise, so he fought for Duryodhana. But then Yudhishthira, who was a master of real politics, told Shalya, okay, it's all right, but you came with the intention of helping us, so don't give up that intention. How? He said, Karna doesn't have a good, skillful charioteer, and you are an expert charioteer. Just as Krishna is the charioteer of Arjuna, definitely the time will come when Duryodhana will request you to be the charioteer of Karna. At that time, please start the psychological war and deflate that fellow's confidence. Constantly attack him, berate him, scold him, and needle him, puncture his ego, and weaken him psychologically. And the rest of the work we will do. So Shalya, that is why we say in Telugu, Shalya Saradhyam. Shalya Saradhyam. That means somebody who pretends to be your friend but constantly works to bring down your morale. Who will bring down your morale. Instead of giving you any pep talk, he will de-pep you. He will ensure that you lose whatever confidence you have. These are dangerous people. So that is what Shalya did. So you can see psychological war is also there. Next, Drupada's priest, Drupada sent a Brahmin to the Kaurava court. But as it is said, Brahmins are people who speak the truth and boldly speak the truth and never really care for, politics and appeasement and as a result they lack the diplomacy which a Kshatriya has. You know, Shastras say the Brahmin's heart is like butter, but the speech is like a dagger. And a Kshatriya, his speech will be like butter, or whatever you want, very sweet and nice and honeyed, but the heart will be like a dagger. So this is the difference in the temperament. So Drupada sent a Brahmin, and he was very blunt, without being diplomatic or tactful and all that. So Bhishma got terribly angry. You don't know how to do the job of an emissary, and you're threatening us with all the boasting about the skill of Arjuna and all that. So this is the first thing that failed. Uh, Yudhishthira, then what happened was Sanjaya was sent. Sanjaya was a very wise man. His name was Gavalgana, who was the childhood classmate of Dhritarashtra and charioteer of Dhritarashtra and the personal attendant, and also he was the man who was given the Divya Drishti by Vedavyasa. Therefore he could go to the battlefield and even hear conversations, because he could move with an astral body. Though of course physically he went there, from there onwards he used the astral body with which he could hear even comments and dialogues between the warriors before they launched into a fight and all that. So he had something like, he was like a drone actually. So he knew everything that was happening. So he came back on the 10th day after Bhishma fell to report matters, and that is how the Bhagavad Gita starts. So Dhritarashtra asked him, Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamakah pandavaschaiva kim kurvata sanjaya. This question was, of course, these are preliminaries. These are called what you call confabulation, small talk. When we meet somebody, we don't directly launch into the main topic of discussion. We'll say, how are you? What are you doing? So similarly, Dhritarashtra asked a question which was rather meaningless. But that is how things start, What did my sons do and sons of Pandu do? They have assembled there. So, after all, they have assembled there to fight. But nevertheless, that is how it is. Even that shloka is very important, because the first word is dharma. The entire Bhagavad Gita starts with the word dharma, and the last word of the 18th chapter, 78th shloka, the word is mama. So dharma mama. That means Bhagavad Gita teaches us my dharma. That means Bhagavad Gita teaches dharma mama. That means my dharma, your dharma, everyone's dharma. That's it. So even there is a message. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. Ahalya Bai Rani, once when she was listening to a pravachana, after listening the first line, Dharma kshetre kurukshetre, she said, okay, I have understood. The Kathavachak was surprised. She was a great karma yogi. In fact, all the temples in the north, including the Kashi Vishweshwara, she revived. She reconstructed when all these Mughal invaders destroyed all the Hindu temples. So she is a national icon. So she was a busy karma yogi. She had no time to sit and listen to pravachans. So when she heard the first line, she said, okay, I have understood. Everyone was shocked. What have you understood? Only 4 words. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. Kshetre dharma kuru. See, dharma kshetre kurukshetre. So kshetre dharma kuru. There are 2 times the word kshetra occurs. Kshetra means field of activity. Dharma kuru, do karma in every field. That means whatever role you play, as a son, as an employee, as an employer, as a son, as a daughter, as a mother, as a father, as a citizen, as a warrior, as a soldier, as a commander, and whatever duties, as a king, in whatever personal relationships, always discharge your duties dharmically. She said, that is all. What more is there? Correct. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. Kshetre dharman kuru. That's it. I wrote a song also on this. Kshetre dharman kuru. Kshetre dharman kuru. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. Anyway, I will sing that in another video. So Sanjaya came. Sanjaya is a master spokesperson. He was also very educated, very learned. Sanjaya was given the Divya Drishti because Dhritarashtra did not want to see the death of his sons. So he said, no, I don't want to watch this. So Sanjaya got this Doordarshan, Siddhi, and not that dumb government run channel which is full of I don't want to say anything now. So the government does not encourage excellence. Those who deserve the post won't get it, only the reserved will get it. Anyway, let us leave it there. So Sanjaya came, and Sanjaya praised Yudhishthira for his virtues, and also concluded that, for the sake of wealth and satisfying selfish desires, one should not annihilate family members. So he was, waxing eloquent on morality. And also telling Yudhishthira, see, Mr. Yudhishthira, it is against your own nature. You are such a great man, Ajata Shatru. But he'd underestimated Yudhishthira and Krishna. Both Yudhishthira and Krishna replied. They gave befitting answers. They said, no, Mr. Sanjay, it is proper for a Kshatriya to fight. A Kshatriya cannot give up a war. So, especially when he is unjustly deprived of his kingdom. So, Krishna also told Sanjaya, remember, Draupadi was insulted and all the stripping and all that nonsense these fellows have done. So, Sanjaya returned from Upaplavya that very evening and informed Dhritarashtra that war is inevitable. And he said, okay, I'll give you the details in the assembly hall tomorrow morning. So, Dhritarashtra could not sleep that night. When Sanjaya returned and reported, Dhritarashtra could not sleep, so he called Vidura. Because Vidura is a wise man, Vidura is an Amsha Avtara of Dharmadeva. So Vidura told Dhritarashtra many things, including that story about a person whose house was on the other side of the forest, and while running through the forest it became very dark and he tripped and fell into a pit. His head was dangling. From the top a tiger was watching. Below in the pit there was another tiger, and a lot of snakes were hissing. His legs got tied up in a lot of roots and he was dangling upside down. His head was upside down, and snakes were hissing. Honey bees were also buzzing because a beehive got distracted, and rats from everywhere came, and all other ants, because honey started dripping on the roots of that tree in which this man's legs were entangled. So the rats were gnawing at the roots because they were eating the honey, and in the meanwhile the honey bees were terribly angry, out to attack who's the fellow who has disturbed the peace here. The snakes, many snakes, tiger looking from above, tiger looking from below. So this man is caught in such a situation. Actually, this parable, Vidura's parable, was an indirect message to Dhritarashtra. In fact, Vidura told directly also several times, but this old fool would not listen. Dhritarashtra means one who has occupied who has grabbed the whole nation. Land grabbers are there, but this fellow is a nation grabber. So, at this point of time, Dhritarashtra, the Vidura's parable is that the honey dripped and was dripping. The rats were out for the honey, they were gnawing at the roots, and any minute the roots will get, they will snap, and this man might fall and he might die because there is a tiger waiting there. And this man, instead of thinking about how to escape from this situation, from this predicament, he started licking the honey and enjoying the honey. So this is exactly what Vidura was trying to tell Dhritarashtra, your situation is like this, or in fact all humans are living their lives like this. Instead of thinking about how to get moksha and get out of this never-ending cycle of birth, and instead of actually dealing with the problems even in our material life, even in our material life, a student might have, an examination, backlogs to take care, GRE exam to write, competitive exams are there, interviews are there to attend, and parents' expectations are there, so much money, loans have been taken for their education, so many things are there, his health is there, he has to take care of his health, but abandoning all this, they will go to KFC, eat all the junk biryani, junk food, and get all kinds of physical diseases, psychological diseases, and they won't improve their English, they won't improve their communication skills, general knowledge, and as a result, the tiger is the interview. The tiger at the bottom is the GRE, IELTS, TOEFL, and so many other competitive examinations, parents' expectations, and all these friends are like snakes and rats who are actually pulling him down. PhD, they are doing PhD, they are pulling him down. Henry Ford once defined a friend as a person who brings out the best in me, but our friends are actually pulling us down. So when we have friends like this, we don't need any enemies. So these are the kind of friends. And this whole story actually metaphorically, allegorically reflects on how we are leading our own lives. We have to think of how to face the situations, how to solve problems, how to get out of this cycle of birth and death. So that is why Vishwamitra, when he met Dasharatha, we normally, I say Jai Shri Ram. In fact, that is why people have called me Jai Shri Ram. Nobody knows my original name. So in my whole village, everyone thinks I am Jai Shri Ram. Even children say Jai Shri Ram. And I am very happy. Now, Vishwamitra, when he met, otherwise people say good morning, good evening, some crappy words like that. I don't know what good morning. The British have been kicked out, but still we are hanging on with that. So then Vishwamitra inquired Dasharatha. He asked, how is your moksha sadhana going on? Interesting question. So next time you also try asking, how is your moksha sadhana going on? How is your career preparation going on? That is the right question to ask. People are actually leaking honey, which means watching TV, serials, going to movies, birthday parties, and eating spit-laden cakes. They put candles, blow out candles, and a fine spray of saliva of the birthday boy lands on the cake, and everyone has the saliva-laden birthday cake, and they get corona and all these nonsense diseases, drinking, social drinking, finally drugs. This is how, instead of dealing with the problems, we create hell for ourselves. So Viduraniti. Then Dhritarashtra heard all Viduraniti. Viduraniti is very interesting. Please read that. Geetha Press has published wonderful books. So Dhritarashtra wants more knowledge about Atma. Vidura knew, but he said, see, giving you such information, a rishi should give you, not me. So he prayed to Sanat Sujata, rishi. So Sanat Sujata, when you pray to such rishis, Vidura is a dharma devata, na? So he appeared. Then he gave a talk to Dhritarashtra, because Dhritarashtra was not able to sleep because Bhishma had fallen. And how are we going to win this war? Even at that time, Vidura told him, at least now you patch up, give them their kingdom, and let us, arrive at some conciliation. No, this fellow was not willing to listen. So Sanat Sujata, that is called Sanata Sujatiyam. So that's another wonderful work of Vedanta. So he delivers a talk. But even that will not work on Dhritarashtra. And finally, next day when Sanjaya informed in the assembly all that transpired in the Pandava court, Dhritarashtra actually asked Duryodhana to give back the kingdom to Pandavas, as it was impossible to succeed in the war when Krishna was helping them, and now Bhishma is also finished. Duryodhana pacified Dhritarashtra, and Karna also joined and pacified, and they said, no, we will manage. Bhishma ridiculed Karna and therefore Karna got terribly upset, and he said he will not fight till Bhishma falls. Like sulking like Achilles. Greek also Trojan War. Sulking like Achilles is an idiom. So Karna was sulking. So he joined the war only after Bhishma fell. Karna joined the war on the 11th day. 10th day Bhishma fell. So then what next? So Karna was felt very insulted, humiliated, so he left the court in anger. Vidura tried to explain things to Duryodhana, but Duryodhana also terribly got angry and he also left. Then Sanjaya also said Krishna is coming as the emissary. Then Krishna Raya Bharam. Then Dhritarashtra was very happy and he told Vidura, please make arrangements for the reception of Sri Krishna and give him a lot of gifts and all that, presents. But Duryodhana, Vidura said that Krishna will not be pleased with all the presents unless he agrees to give the share of the kingdom. So don't think you can manipulate Krishna. But Duryodhana also said, if we give gifts and presents, Krishna will think that we are scared. So we will not give gifts and presents. Otherwise Krishna will think that we are afraid of him. That's why we are giving him all these gifts and all that. So on the Duryodhana On the contrary, Duryodhana told Bhishma, Drona, Dhritarashtra that he was actually planning to imprison Sri Krishna. So that once Krishna is imprisoned and put behind bars, the Pandavas will easily succumb. So Bhishma was furious about the suggestion and warned Duryodhana that you are now inviting disaster. You have no idea what Krishna is. But Duryodhana was not willing to listen to anybody. So Duryodhana was also again very angry. He ran out of the hall and got out. Krishna. Now next is Krishna Rayavaram. So Krishna went and out of anxiety to establish peace, Dharmaraja Yudhishthira actually told Krishna that he is happy, he would be happy even if he gets 5 villages. And even Bhima said, okay, I will also settle for peace. But Krishna provoked Bhima and told him, what has happened to you, Bhima? In the forest, you have become you have got softened up. You took a vow that you will break his legs, drink that fellow's blood. He stripped Draupadi, and you were watching helplessly. You took such terrible vows, and now you are saying peace. What kind of a peacenik are you? Peacenikism. This is unbecoming of you. So then Bhima said, no, out of respect for Yudhishthira, I said what I said. Draupadi, she showed her hair and told Krishna, remember, I made a promise. That fellow dragged me by my hair, Dushasana. And if these people, my husbands, don't fight, my father, my sons Abhimanyu and Prativindya will fight in the war. And all my other sons are also there who will fight. Unless I see the dead bodies of these Kauravas who insulted me, tried to strip me, I will not be happy. And she started weeping. Krishna promised her and told her she will definitely occupy the throne as a queen, and certainly all the people who insulted, humiliated, subjected her to this horrible experience, they will all be annihilated, destroyed completely. So Krishna already knew what was going to happen. So the message for us is, Hindus especially, even when Krishna gave the Bhagavad Gita, some Hindus are worshipping Chandmiya, Bondamiya, and they are going to dargahs and giving chaddars, and without knowing who these Sufis are. They are scoundrels, rascals, criminals, rapists. They are the worst. They were agents of the Islamic invaders. And they have committed crimes themselves. I don't want to. So, Krishna silently told Draupadi that don't worry, किसी को भी मैं छोड़ूंगा नहीं. Krishna ki चेतावनी. Ramdhari Singh Dinkar, listen to that. I made a video on that also. And on YouTube you will find many others also. So now, where did we stop? So after landing at Hastinapura, Krishna did not accept all the 5-star facilities given by Dhritarashtra, because he told him, see, you are not my friend. You have harmed my friends Pandavas, and so I cannot have food with you. I cannot dine with you. Just like Maharana Pratap refused to dine with Jai Singh. He went and lived in the house of Vidura. Vidura was a great Krishna devotee. Incidentally, Vidura gave only palak and some vegetables, and after dinner he was offering bananas. But Vidura was so rapturously, listening to Krishna talk, that he was peeling the bananas and throwing the pulp banana away and offering the skins to Krishna, and Krishna was consuming the skins. Later Vidura's wife noticed and then said, hey, what are you doing? You are giving him skins and he is eating the skins. That is Krishna for you. So because he was offering with bhakti, patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti pahrutam ashnami prayatatmanaha. So Krishna, they tried to catch him, imprison him, and then Krishna laughed. Before going to the assembly hall of the Kauravas, Krishna met Kunti Devi, and Kunti Devi also lamented bitterly, and she told him to tell them that they should fight like Kshatriyas, and they should definitely try to get back their kingdom, not succumb to all these nonsensical pacifistic talks. So Krishna landed up in the court And Krishna advised Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra confessed that he is not able to control his son. And Krishna advised Duryodhana that this is not the way to, behave, and this is not the way you should go about, looting their property. Duryodhana started protesting that everyone is abusing him, and giving him unnecessary, unsolicited advice. It is the mistake of Pandavas to play dice. When they lost in the game, what is the improper thing that I have done? I have not played dice. Shakuni wanted, Shakuni played. So, Duryodhana, you see, Janami dharmam nachame pravritti, Janami adharmam nachame nivritti, Tvayi hrishikesha hridisthitena yadhani yuktosi asmi tadha karomi. Privately, Duryodhana told Krishna, I know dharma, don't preach to me, but I cannot, stop myself. But I janami dharmam nachame pravritti. I don't feel like doing dharma. Janami adharmam nachame nivritti. I know what is dharma, but I can't stop myself from doing it. And by the way, you, Rishikesha, who is residing in my heart, you are commanding me to do all this, so therefore I am not guilty, you are guilty. So this also he said. So all this nonsense was going on. So Krishna said, okay, I will take. Then Krishna actually told Dhritarashtra to bind over these fellows, the Dushta Chatushtayam. He said, pack up these fellows, arrest Duryodhana, Karna, Dushasana, Shakuni, and hand them over to Yudhishthira, and this war can be avoided. In legal parlance, we use the term bind over. So Krishna advised Dhritarashtra to bind over these four fellows, Dushta, the cabal, the plotters. And then Duryodhana was terribly angry, and he went out to get the ropes to bind Krishna. So Krishna had a good laugh, and Satyaki was already aware that they were up to these monkey tricks trying to catch Krishna. And Bhishma and Vidura informed Dhritarashtra. So Dhritarashtra summoned Gandhari to tell Duryodhana, hey, don't try all this nonsense trying to imprison and arrest Krishna. Gandhari also failed all her explanations. This fellow was not willing to listen. Duryodhana left the hall in anger, and he was making preparations to imprison Krishna. Krishna laughed and then showed his Vishwarupam. Remember, Krishna showed his Vishwarupam in the entire Mahabharata 3 times. Third time to his friend Uttanka Mahamuni. Once in the Geetha to Arjuna, once in the hall, assembly hall, and once to Uttanka Mahamuni after the war. Now, Vishwarupam nobody could see except Bhishma, Drona, and Vidura, and Krishna gave Dhritarashtra also. Remember, Dhritarashtra is also a character from the court of Kubera, who is just performing his role in this Leela, so that we humans understand how to live and how not to live, what not to do and what to do. Because Krishna is not going to spare all these fellows. So this is the entire Leela drama going on. So Dhritarashtra also saw the Vishwarupam. Bhishma, Drona, Vidura, Dhritarashtra. These 4 people saw the Vishwarupam. Others could not. They were blinded by the dazzling, refulgence, incandescent refulgence. So again he went to Kunti Devi and told her that war is inevitable. And before departure, he took Karna on his chariot for some time and informed him that he is the son of Kunti. And told Karna, why don't you join Pandavas? Karna disagreed. He said, I cannot deceive Duryodhana at this late stage. However, Karna told Krishna not to inform this truth to Yudhishthira, because if Yudhishthira comes to know that Karna is his elder brother, probably Yudhishthira will refuse to fight, and then everything will go pass on to Duryodhana. So let not this thing happen. So Karna's case is very curious. He knew that he is on the wrong side, adharma, but he sold his soul to Mephistopheles, Dr. Faustus, Christopher Marlowe, perhaps he stole this idea from here. Karna stole his soul, sold his soul to Duryodhana. So all along he knew. Therefore he told Krishna, please don't tell Dharmaraj, because that fellow will now, Karna is my elder brother, so he will give up everything and run away, and this fellow Duryodhana will enjoy. So let not that thing happen. And then Karna also said Karna also said that the events are all forecasting that Pandavas will win because, oh Lord, you are on their side. So Karna knew very well that they are losing. Ah. So then Krishna left after informing Kunti Devi, and then the next event in the drama is Kunti Devi meets Karna and tells him to avoid the war and all that. So you also know that. So Karna said, okay, I will not kill. I will kill only Arjuna, I will not kill the others. So you will always have 5 sons. So that was a promise he made. Thereafter, Duryodhana collected 11 Akshohinis, Pandavas had 7 Akshohinis, and Rukmi, the elder brother of Rukmini, he came and he spoke arrogantly to Duryodhana. He said, I will protect you. Duryodhana said, get lost, I don't need your. Same dialogue with Dharmaraja, I will protect you, I will take care. He also said, get lost, we can take care of ourselves. So this arrogant man Rukmi could not fight, and Balrama did not fight because he felt Bhima and Duryodhana both were his disciples, and he did not want to see this fratricidal war, internecine war. So he went on a Tirtha Yatra. He only came back to watch the last fight between Bhima and Duryodhana. Before the war actually began, Dhritarashtra sent this buffoon Ulluka, the son of Shakuni, to Pandavas. And Ulluka's job was to launch a psychological war to deflate the morale of Yudhishthira. Ulluka said in the Pandava court, hey, Yudhishthira, you are like an old cat pretending to be the friend of rats. So you want to swallow them secretly. So, and Bhima, who is, boastful, after all worked like a cook. Arjuna is a chaka, eunuch, brihannala, and now their real worth will come out and they will lose the war. So this psychological war that fellow started. And so they said, okay, get lost. So he went away. So they told him to get lost. You see, we know you are just a mouthpiece of Duryodhana. So please get out. So Ulluka ran away. Then the next important thing was, gradation and designation and portfolio. So Karna was considered a Artharathi, but actually he is a Mahamaharathi, equivalent to Arjuna or perhaps slightly superior. So Bhishma deliberately insulted. So Karna again got angry, and he said he re-emphasized his will not to fight till Bhishma dies. And further, Bhishma made it clear that he will not kill the Pandavas, but he will only destroy their army. And he will also not fight with Shikandi because she was born a woman. And he gives the reasons and all that. Because she is the daughter of King Kashi, and she secured a boon from Shiva that he could kill Bhishma. So anyway, this is also there. Though since she was basically a woman and became a man, Bhishma stuck to his vow that he will never fight with a woman, nor injure a woman, nor kill a woman. Here another interesting incident is, so Duryodhana asked Bhishma, how long would it take to wipe out the army of Pandavas? Bhishma said 1 month. Drona said same thing, 1 month. Kripacharya 2 months. Ashwathama, he said 10 nights are sufficient. Karna 5 days. Bhishma ridiculed Karna. Yudhishthira asked, in how many days, and Kaurava asked him. Arjuna said it could be done in a second because he had the Pashupata Astra. Remember, the Pashupati Astra he got from Mahadeva was used once just for ensuring that Jayadratha's head could be carried and thrown into the lap of his father Vruddha who gave a boon to his son Jayadratha that whosoever beheads him, whosoever causes my son's head to fall on the ground, his head will get shattered and he will die. So Krishna told him, now use the Pashupata Astra to behead this Saindhava, Jarasandha, and who was responsible for the death of Abhimanyu. That's a different story, I think you already know, or in some other video. So Jayadratha, Arjuna vowed that he will kill Jayadratha on the 14th day. On the 13th day, Abhimanyu was murdered by all Duryodhana, Drona, Karna. 14 people attacked him. Karna attacked Abhimanyu from behind like a coward. So Arjuna swore that he will kill him. So Jayadratha had this boon. So under Krishna's instruction, Pashupata Astra was used only once in the entire Mahabharata, and the head of Jayadratha was beheaded and dropped into the lap of the meditating Vruddhakshatara, his father, who abruptly got up because of the head falling, and the head fell from his lap to the ground, and his head got shattered and he died. Because he said that whosoever causes my son's head to fall on the ground, his head will get shattered. So technically he caused the head of his son to fall on the ground, though actually Arjuna beheaded him. What is the lesson here? Lateral thinking. For every complex problem there is a creative solution if you can care to think. Finally, the battlefield was constructed. It was 5 yojanas. That means a yojana means 8 to 10 miles. That means something like 50 miles. 50 square miles. Okay. Huge tents were constructed. Duryodhana constructed a tent which was almost like a palace, and all of them marched. And the food for all these people was given by the king of Udupi. Udupi Raja. That is why you see all over Udupi restaurants are there. All over the world. They are masters of making food. Excellent food. Pure vegetarian food. Now this is sufficient proof that nobody ate non-veg. Non-veg was not there. This is a mlecha habit which we acquired from the mlechas. Vedas condemn meat eating. The word mamsa means I will become this fellow. That means the goat will be born as human. The human who slaughtered the goat will become the goat, and the cycle will continue. You cannot, escape the consequences of such violent, brutal acts. In fact, karma, the cast iron law of karma cannot be violated with impunity. Even Rama took birth as a human. Rama suffered the separation from his wife. For that also there are so many curses, actions of Rama. So that all I will not include now here. So Sita Devi also was cursed. In fact, not exactly cursed. She indulged in an activity. She separated a female parrot and a male parrot. She kept this female parrot in a cage. Because she was so sweet, this female parrot. And because of this action, she separated the female parrot from her partner, the male parrot, and for something like 1 year. So Sita suffered separation from Rama. Rama killed the wife of Bhrigu, Pulomi, because Pulomi gave sanctuary to the Rakshasas, Asuras, who sought her refuge. And she was refusing to bind them over, because they are Asuras and they were creating havoc, eating up humans and creating havoc. So after a lot of pleading, when Vishnu threw the Sudarshan Chakra and beheaded Bhrigu's wife Pulomi, Bhrigu cursed Rama. And how dare you, kill a woman, that too with a Sudarshan Chakra, and you have deprived me of my wife. Therefore, you will also be deprived and you will suffer. Later, Bhrigu managed to revive his wife. That's a different part of the story. So here the point here is, even Krishna, Rama killed Vali from behind a tree and gave justification. But Vali, kidnapped his younger brother's wife, and he was, doing something grossly immoral. A younger brother's wife is to be treated like a daughter. The daughter-in-law has to be treated like a daughter. In fact, more than a daughter. So, and the elder brother's wife should be treated like a mother. These are values of Sanatana Dharma. So, Vali was a villain. He was a lecherous rascal, and he kicked his brother out, usurped the throne, and did not give any share, and also abducted his younger brother's wife. So Vali did what he did. And so Rama said, you are a bloody beast. Just because I am in the forest doesn't mean I am no longer a king. It's my duty to protect people from unjust fellows like you. And Vali anyway was given a boon by Brahma, that anybody who faces Vali in battle will lose half his strength to Vali. Now, which means Now Rama can easily overturn Brahma's boon, but if we constantly, if the CEO of a company constantly overrules the authority of a lower level executive, that executive one day will say, why are you hiring me then? Let me go. You do all the work. So these are certain management principles. There is a chain of command. The CEO cannot, randomly, arbitrarily ride roughshod and violate the protocol. So that is why Rama shot him from behind the tree. Though he knew that by doing so, he will attract lot of criticism. Rama didn't care. Saving his devotee was more important than his own reputation. That is Rama. Rama gave several justifications for that. But in spite of all that, Rama, reborn as Krishna, had to be shot dead by Jara, a hunter, who mistook Krishna's foot to be some deer or something, and Krishna gave up his bodily, whatever, though that is not a physical body like yours and mine. Krishna actually died being shot from behind a tree. So the equation is balanced. This is Sanatan Dharma for you. Be careful. Jai Shri Ram.